Hello, everybody. Never mind my hair. It's early. It was a fun night. Actually, my Sabres won for a change, so that's great. But this isn't because I was partying or anything. I'm just up early here. And we want to get in the third round of the NorCal Open. Or NorCal Pro-Am, that's what it is. Keep forgetting that it's a Pro-Am because we don't, even though we don't have amateurs involved in this at all. And it'd be fun to come up with a way to do that in the future. Maybe we will, but so did all the stuff I needed to do with my spreadsheet to get it to actually, why don't I do that? So I should have done this before I got set up, but let's just do this real quick. So I did everything in my spreadsheet, and actually I can bring that spreadsheet up just to show you the list of players that are, golfers that are still involved in the tournament. So bear with me for a second as I do that, and then after we do that, we'll get right into the third round. So this is History Maker Golf, and also I guess maybe I didn't say my name's Earl. Tenacious Earl is what I go by. It's kind of a strange name, but it does the job. Came about from it's the name of some baseball stuff I've done. It's just a name I came up with based off of 10 teams or whatever. But in any regard, so the third round here in History Maker Golf from Play Games, PLAAY. That's their website. But anyway, that's their company name. But you don't really end up playing the golf game itself. You end up doing this tournament mode, and there's a third round mechanism that you simulate the third round. And so not everybody's going to be into that. Some people would probably like to play. I'm actually thinking about at some point doing a test drive on using the third round modeling, but playing out the top 16 golfers in the third round and using those scores to further hone in what they did in the first two rounds. So if they shot low in the third round, then maybe their first two rounds were a little, because you can do some simulation there. So that way we would expand it to the top 20 golfers. So I'll show you what I mean here once we get into the different labelings for, we have A minus, et cetera, et cetera. So, but let me get my spreadsheet out. This will show you the field as it currently stands after the 71 player cut. This is at Pacific Golf Links, which is in Pebble Beach, California. That will tell you something about what the course is. But I'm going to turn the camera around and wait around for a second here. We're going to get to the third round of the NorCal Pro-Am for the 2018 season, and be right back. Okay, so here we are. I'm going to zoom this in a little bit on the screen here. I had to change my lighting. So here is the information that we have in the spreadsheet. So this is tournament number 4 of 24 tournaments. The 2018 NorCal Pro-Am at Pacific Golf Links, par 72 course, $8 million purse, virtual purse, obviously. Pebble Beach, California is the place we are. February 25th through 22nd through 25th. So this is in theory the 24th because this is the third round. And these are the players who've made the cut in alphabetical order. We don't have scores for them. I'm just going to go ahead and scroll through the list. There is Delmo Mazzanti. He was in a tournament. Enrique Magallanes was our winner last time. Gareth Leonard and Dustin Emmerich have been around the leaderboard quite a bit. Heath Sommers as well. Justin Wallace. A couple of names that you will not see. Ziggy Juno did not make the cut. And also Yi Chen, the qualifier who was kind of the last guy in, he also did not make it. So one other thing we can do real quick while we are while we have this set up to show my tablet here, I can get a good. Here's our money leader list at the moment. Again, I should probably zoom it in a bit. So Enrique Magallanes is in the lead along with Adam Trenchard, Nishiki Kawahara, who missed the cut. Trenchard also missed the cut. So, and I think Granbury did as well. So the top three of the top four missed the cut. Heath Sommers is in. Emmerich's in. McAdams isn't playing in this tournament. Takai didn't make it. So, I mean, some of these guys are going to be static for this tournament as far as their money winnings, because they have missed the cut. If you miss the cut, you don't make $1. So, let's go ahead and I'm going to turn off my Kindle for the moment and get the lighting back up and adjust my frame. And my camera positioning. There we go. All right, so we're in pretty good shape here for now. And all right, so over here we have the outstanding golfer. They're going to be in their own thing. So I'm going to turn on my overhead light here. It's a little somber for my liking. So what we need to do is we need to keep him over here as pile number 8, and then we're going to have 7 other piles that we get from the ones who made the cut. The ones who missed the cut are over here, and I believe over here as well. I just stuffed them in a couple of baggies. Keep them off to the side. And so I'm just doing some shuffling here. I changed my camera angle a bit so we could get more into the shot. In fact, I could probably should take it even a little further this way. There we go. Because you don't need to see what's over there on that left side so much. The downside of this camera angle is it's somewhat in my way, but just try to work around it as best I can, and hopefully we will have a successful third round here. It will be successful, but okay, so just trying to shuffle these cards up. I didn't touch them since yesterday, because aside from making them into a nice neat pile. So, okay. Alright, so I shuffled those probably 6 or 7 times. So what we need to do is we need to develop 7 piles of more or less equal. So let's pull it this way. Actually, no, we'll leave them up here. So we're going to cut into 2 as best we can, and we'll cut that into 2. This guy might be just a little heavy. Okay, now we got to cut 4 into 3, so let's just take. We'll do the best we can. One thing I've been considering doing based on some feedback from a viewer would be to anybody who is a qualifier would be given the hot designation. I'm toying with it for that tournament only, but because they get in means they're probably playing better than they would have otherwise. So it might be a way to give them a little bit of an advantage. Okay, I think we're pretty close here. And we got the outstanding pile. So I'm going to lay things out here as we try to determine our third round. So again, we use this chart here. Let's zoom it in a bit. So this is another mechanism where we use... what I probably should do is come up with a slide. I can put it on the screen here for these charts. I could come up with a couple slides, one for this chart, one for this chart, and that way you guys could more easily see it. But what you get here is in the same way that the making the cut selects people to be have made the cut. What this does is this selects a couple people from each pile that are going to contend, and then it's going to send the rest of them into a pile further down the grades where they will finish with a lower score. And I'm going to get my book out here. I didn't write anything in it yet, and I wanted to, but let's see. So I'm going to put third round. And so the other thing that I need to do is I need to make note of the tourney perks, guys. So I'm going to put that off to the side here. So what we're going to do is we're going to roll on each of these piles, and then we will roll for Yarlet, who is the outstanding golfer that we got from our cut round. And I need to zoom back out, and I want to explain a little bit further for anybody who hasn't had experience with this setup. So each of these designations will provide a it'll basically provide a mechanism over on this side of the sheet to give a score. It basically, if you're at A plus, based on our the score that we intend for it to be, which is going to be in this range, they will get to either 201 or 202 with a roll the decider die, and that will help us break out the leaderboard for the final round at the start of it. So let's go with pile number one. We're going to either do top or draw golfers again. So let's. I'm not going to leave this up on the screen just because it's a little glary. And so let's go here. The first roll is 26. So we're going to draw 4 golfers and choose the top. Oh wait, that's wrong. Looking at the wrong one. Draw golfer contends with A minus. Others finish with B minus. And I need to give myself a little more room underneath. Okay. So, what was it? A draw golfer contends with A minus. So A minus is going to be right here. And I use my D20 to determine which golfer will be in that A minus. And it's a 15, so we got to see who all we're gonna. Might as well put them all down here. So there's Aberley, just want to make sure that we aren't. Fortunately, this is at the bottom of the screen. You should be able to see the cards there. There's Hockle, Sears. So somebody from here is going to contend, and it's going to be random. It's not going to be based on rating. Hudspeth, I got room over here. Kanishi and Alvestad. So we've got how many? 4. 8, 9, and we had 15, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14. Will Janis will be in the A-. We haven't seen him contend lately, or yet, I don't think. So the others will finish with B-. So we just take all these guys and pile them up, and we will put them behind the B- pile, and they will be finished. So we'll put them right up here. And we'll move on to pile number 2. That's a 14. 14, top golfer contends with A, others finish with C. So we'll find out who is the top golfer here. Try and let the tournament ratings be shown. This is a little bit smaller of a pile. Let me double check that I'm getting singletons out here. And I'm going to get out a score sheet at the end, the scorecard that we use, and build the leaderboard in front of you. Dale George, and who's the last one here? Okay, so it's going to be, it is a tie between Steve Foshi and Gooch Wilborg. And I want to consult my rule book, because I think what we do is we roll the if there's a tie for top golfer, it's different for the third round. Each of the tied golfers gets a decide or die roll. Bullet, they contend with the indicated placement. Blank, they contend with B+. So they're both going to contend, Foshi and Wilborg, but and did I leave my decide or die in here? I think I must have. Yes, so I like to keep things in a place that can be safe where it's not going to get lost. So again, in this round, we roll the decide or die, and with a 14, it means that if they get the die, they will be an A. So we'll go with Wilborg first, since he was first in line. He is going to contend at B. Right, it was B, right? Not B+. No, they contend with B+. Okay, so. And then Foshi, he will contend with A. So we'll put him over here. The other guys are going to finish at, I believe it was C. Finish with C. So we'll put them right up here. Okay. Pile number 3. 55. All golfers contend with B. So the pile is going to be... but that might... so let's fan them out here. Magellanes, Rooney ahead of them, then we really won't bring these guys into play except for the what do you call it? The emerging contenders potentially. So this was there were a bunch of back markers in this, not back markers but qualifiers, including my created. So they're going to contend with B. So chances are these guys are going to not be shown during the day, but we'll see. Depends on how many. We're going to leave them face up right here. So let's go on to pile number 4. And we haven't had any tourney day perks or issues yet. 16. We will here. Draw a golfer contends with A- and gets a tourney day perk or issue. So let's roll the D20. It's an 18, so let's see who all's in this deck. And I put the 16 up here so that way we can see it, and for memory's sake. Actually, nobody contends up here, so I can move these guys up there. And I really recommend, if you have a light nearby, a lamp or something, that you hold these cards up as you're doing this to ensure you don't have two stuck together, because they have a propensity to stick together. There's Porter Davies, and you will know if they're sticking together because you just will not see. It'll look like a mess in a way. Jansen, I'm gonna have to pull these a little closer together. This is a heavier pile. I mean, if you do the math, it should average about 10. Clive Kenny, Jeffrey Hahn, Pranav Patel, Rafael Mraz. So, because we had 71. One was outstanding, so that means 70 that were in the pile, and you divide it by 7 piles, it should be 10. And in this one, we've got 5, 12. So then the number was 18, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18. Oh, Martin Van Dyke gets a break here with being, well, actually it's going to help the top golfer below him, because he is the best golfer in this bunch. And still the draw comes his way, and that draw gets him to A-. Put him with Janice. And where's my little notebook here? I put it underneath this. I got to write down that he gets attorney perk. So it's Martin Van Dyke. Okay, then the top golfer contends with A. Okay, and the top golfer left. And my assumption is that you draw first, and then it's whoever's top that's left, and that would be Celestino Garcia, correct? Oh, there's 2 3Bs. There's also Maruz Hirano. So this is the one, again, where we have to roll the decider die, and if they get a dot, they're at A, and we will call that an A even though it's leaning. So Celestino Garcia will be at A, and Maruz Hirano, he's going to be at B+. Need to double check. Yeah. Yeah. Anyway, so we're going to keep moving along here. So we've got how many golfers here? We got 6 so far, and we have 3 more piles to go. Oh, we need to dump these guys into D+ with 16. Okay. So we're about halfway through. I'm going to get the decider die out of there. Here is pile number 5. 12. Top golfer contends with A+. That's going to be the only guy who gets through. Is Emmerich in here? I bet he is. I'll bet you he is. He's going to catch a break and be the leader. But we'll see. We will see. Maybe not. Well, it doesn't ensure that he'll be the leader, but Solari, Copeland. Right there I had 2 that stuck together. Rodell. Merida. So at the moment, Rodell is the top golfer. So the top golfer will get the star. There's a 2B. Eric Hubbard. Looks like about 3 more cards. Tom Sudbury. I'm going to put some down here. Delmo Mazzanti, he's not going to make it. And Otavio Almeida. So your 1C is the top golfer with a 12 roll. And so Carson Rodell will be in that final group, final pairing. I think we'll do pairings here. I think they still do pairings in the Pro-Am because some groups have to be, let's see, others, so 12 others finish with B-. So we're going to put those back up there. But they still have some amateurs that play along with the pros in that final day of the tournament. Excuse me. All right. And if you've ever watched the Pro-Am that we're modeling here, you'll know that like the amateurs are always playing very, very quickly. Like you can tell they're like in a rush during that tournament. All right, so pile 6. That's a 13. So a 13 means draw golfer contends with A+. So we'll have 2 guys in that A+, and then the top goes to A-. So let's fan them out here, and then we'll roll. Tominello, Saxer Holt, Garibay, Lee Song. He's got a chance. Emmerich, I was going to say he has a chance at being the top golfer, but nope. Emmerich's going to be the top golfer in this pile. Hope. Aaron's. Bay. Man. You get these super piles that you just don't get quite enough, and it really cuts. So there's Broadus, Melton, and Alan Duvall. So we've got how many in this pile? 5, 10, 12 again. Excuse me, we're going to do a roll of the D20 and see who. I mean, it will help Lee Song if we get a 5 or a 17. It's a 2, so Lanny Saxerholt will be up there with Rodell in that final group. Emmerich will be at, was it 13? Yeah, it was 13, so A-. And Saxerholt is going to get a tourney day perk as well. Perker issue, that is. All right, so we have one more pile to go. Need to put these guys at C+. The rest of these golfers will, unfortunately, fall a little short. But they'll get some money, so gotta look on the bright side, eh? All right. 25. Now we'll get one more perk. So I'll show you the card for 25 here. I try to do it in a way that doesn't blind you. Draw golfer contends with A and gets a perk. Top golfer contends with A-. Others finish with C. So let's fan these out here. We got Visotki, Mignini, I think that's probably how you'd say it. Wallace, he's got a chance at being the top golfer. Marshall Weber. Gareth Leonard's going to be the top golfer unless he gets a tie at 1B. Heath Summers, oh, there you go, 2 1Bs right next to each other. There's Benicio Vazquez, Isaiah Rogers, Lucas Bergman, and Cole Lucas. Wouldn't that be fun if we got one of these handmade golfers? So it was 25 the draw golfer contends with A, and we've got exactly 10 here. So let's see. Perfectly equal odds for everybody to get this draw. 12. So it's going to be Manini, as we've got 10, 11, 12. He will be at A, and he will get Attorney Day perk or issue. And then we got, so 25 is also top golfer contends with A-. So that's going to be, okay, well, this is where we need to use this decide or die again. We got a tie between Leonard and Sommers. The dot will put them at A-. Blank will put them at B+. So Leonard will be at A-. Sommers will be at B+. So, okay. That is, oh, and we have Yarlett too, so we're going to have to make some choices here. But we have one more roll. I almost forgot about him. One more roll. This basically just tells us where we stage him. 24. Top golfer contends. Okay, he's going to get a perk as well. He's going to contend with A, so Yarlett will be the 4th. And he's going to be at A. And I forgot to put these guys away. But that's all right. So, still haven't gotten any custom-made golfers into the final group. Well, let's see. What was 25? That was finished with C. So we put these guys back. Wait, is that right? Yeah, that's right. Okay. So there we go. So what do we have here? We've got 2, 6, 10, 13. So that's a little less than ideal because we really only can do 12 in the final round. So what we're going to have to do is we're going to have to use one of the B pluses as, let me get out my sheets. So there's some 3s. Do I have some pairing sheets? Uh-oh, maybe I don't. Handy here. Aha, in the back. I separated them. You gotta keep them separated. So here's our pairing sheet. So we have some that are pairings. We have some that are, what do you want to call it? Oh, and there goes my book. Took a spill. That's why you have a binder. It's nice and durable and takes a licking and keeps on ticking, much like a Timex. All right, so let's get the dice out of the way here before I do something with it. I'm going to set up my tourney sheet here. So the tournament is 2018 NorCal Pro-Am. Course is Pacific. One other thing we can do here right now while I have the dice right nearby, on the back of the tournament, or the game book, we can do weather effects. Let's just go ahead and set the conditions now. We're going to do a marine west coast. Right, that's, I wouldn't call it desert or arid. I would call it marine west coast. So this is in February, so an 11 would be wet. Exemplary would be 55, so let's just roll them and see if we get anything. 15, so no weather conditions, so just normal. Okay, so there we go. And now we need to construct our leaderboard. And the way we will do this is we're going to start with B+. So we have 13, if you recall. We're going to use the decider die to determine what each golfer has as far as the score goes. Now what we do is we use this chart here, and I think for the next tournament I will take pictures of these charts and load them in so that way you can see and I can pull them up. Target score for this tournament is 270. So what we can do is we use the B pluses and we roll the decider die. They're a 207. If the decider die is a yes, and if it's a no, they're 208. And anybody who's 208, if we've got one 208, they probably won't be shown. So let's start with Sommers because he's the closest. Okay, so he will be 207. So we'll put the 207s right there. Hirano is 207. Now Wilborg is also 207, so that's going to make it a little bit awkward here. So what we're going to have to do here is I am going to we're going to leave Hirano, we're going to leave him in the B+, but we're going to put Wilborg and Sommers at 207. Okay, so we're gonna, but Hirano, because he is the least, he is the lowest tournament rating, he's gonna get left behind here, so that's unfortunate for him. But so these two guys are going to be, now I have to set up my other leaderboard. What I need to do is take these piles and stack them and get them out of the way using the cards as placeholders so that I know where the cutoffs are. Okay, so there. Now we have these guys, and I'm gonna have to really not a whole lot of room for all these, but we'll, you know what we'll do? We'll do it just like this. Actually, we'll put them way up here. And I'm going to put these guys below 6 because I have a feeling that the other golfers are going to be closer than that. So let's just put these guys right here. Hirano is always going to end up being the odd man out, because we're gonna play with the other two. But let's see. So we've got 4 here in this pile. So A minus, as you can see here, is 205 or 206. Actually, what we should, let's start with the top guys. So we'll do Sachs or Holt first. So he is going to be behind unless Riddell also gets a, so that's at 202 for the A+. So Sachs or Holt's 202. They're both 202, so we will put them in the lead here. We can move this over. Those guys are both at 202. Actually, we can move B. We will need them later, but when we do the emerging contenders at the turn. But okay, so we can put down here now, and we will go based on where they were pulled. Rodell was first. They're at 202, so these guys here are 5 shots back, right? So we can actually do this. Okay, now we can do, let's go ahead and do the A minuses now that we've got an idea how this is going to stack up, because it'll be a little easier to do it this way. All right, so A minus is going to be 205 or 206. So we'll start with Leonard. He'll be 206. 4 shots back. Emmerich, also 206. Van Dyke, 206. Will Janis, 205. So, and based on how we built that, it will be, we'll put Van Dyke first at 206 with Emmerich, Leonard, 4 shots back. Then at 205, we have Janis. Okay, so this is going to be 7th, tied for 8th, tied for 11th. Okay, we got Rodell and Saxerholt. I forgot to write down Saxerholt. Okay, so now we've got the A's, and this will finish out our leaderboard. So we'll start with Yarlett. So he'll be 1 behind at 203. Menini, he'll also be 1 behind. Celestino Garcia, he'll be at 204. And Foshi will be at 1 behind. So we're going to have a 3-way log jam tied for 3rd. And it'll be Foshi, Menini, and Yarlett. And then 6th will be Garcia. 204. So this is how the leaderboard stacks up. You can pause it if you want to catch a little, if you just want to pay attention to that. There's what we've got. We've got Hirano, who is not going to be in our, so now what I'll do is, I'm going to kind of move this stuff out of the way here a bit for the moment and try to get where I can write a little better, because I'm going to show you how I'm going to do the pairings. So, the pairings, I'm just going to go ahead and, there, get a little extra room to work. So we kind of do them backwards from the bottom. So we're going to start with, we'll say the first guy off the pile, or the first guy in the groupings as we roll dice for them. We're going to do, so it's going to start with Wilborg, And then Sommers will be in the first pairing. The second pairing will be so Van Dyke, because he was in that first pile, he's going to go in with Janice. So we're going to have Emmerich and Leonard. So Janice is at a higher score. He'll get to start the third pairing, and Van Dyke will be in that. So then the next one we will have Yarlett and Garcia. Garcia with the higher score goes first. Then you've got Fauci and Menini. I half butchered that. Then finally we've got Rodell. Saxer-Holt. So that's how we build up our pairings. So, I mean, this is actually a better setup for doing the tournament, probably, as far as the camera angle to put it out here for you guys. Okay, so let's do one more thing before I sign off. Let me see what. Okay, we're not quite at an hour, so we've still got a little bit of time. I'm going to do the tourney perks and issues. So we had 4 golfers right here that have them, and so we go off of this chart. And we didn't have an 11. I think, if I recall, if you're rolling an 11 in any of these processes, is where you go to the injury. And I guess next tournament I might have to do that because I forgot to print it out. But sometimes you just get like a bull in a china shop and get moving along, and you just want to keep going. So we only need one. We only need one die for this. So we're going to start with Van Dyke. He gets a 2, so he's going to have a sponsor issue or perk. Then we re-roll, and it's a 5, so he's going to gain lucky quality. So what that means is every hole this tournament only, every hole he will, if he has used up his chips, he will get another one. His blue chips. So Lanny Saxer-Holt's next. 5 means trainer issue. 4, start the round with, oh boy, that's not good. Start the round with how many red chips? We need to re-roll 2 red chips. So he's a leader, but he's going to have to manage 2 red chips. Okay, Joey Menini. Another trainer issue. Let's roll it. Lose a choice quality. And that's potentially, until further notice, I think we have to roll the decider die to determine that. It says it up here. Yeah, bullet indicates the perk is till further notice. So let's roll out. It is going to be till further notice, and so what we'll do is look at his card and decide which of these qualities he'd like to get rid of, and if there's one. Well, let's see. It's a choice between the semi-scatter and the semi-stone. He's going to get rid of the semi-scatter. Minus scatter TFN. So what I'm going to do is I have a list that I'm keeping, and so until we get 5, everybody keeps their TFNs. So that's what till further notice means. If you haven't followed the History Maker series, there are certain things that are till further notice. So guys just keep these qualities or lose these qualities until the time is up. So until they, and in this case, so in baseball, only a certain number of players per team, I think it's 3, can have till further notice issues. In this game, 5 on the tour can have it. So Manini will be losing his semi-scatter from his woods for the time being. And now we go to Nick Yarlett, who is also a stroke back. He's going to have a clubhouse issue or perk, and we're going to re-roll. It's a 6. So if he is able to birdie on the first hole, his mood will turn sunny. Otherwise, he'll be stormy the rest of the round. Ooh. So this is... So that's gonna have an impact on the way he plays that first hole, I would imagine. So you have a feeling he's gonna try to grind out a birdie as best he can, and he's gonna have to use see if there's any strategy, because I wouldn't say the first hole is a birdie hole necessarily. I mean, you got a chance, but that's gonna be tough for Sachs or Holt. He's gonna have 2 red chips. So anyway, I'm gonna turn this around. I think we've gotten everything done we need to have done. Just a second. I'm gonna before we do the final round, and I think I'm gonna break the final round again into 3 portions, but I'll probably play it over 3 days. So just because, but I'm gonna get going because my family's up and some people want to get going. So this has been the 3rd round of the NorCal Pro-Am. I'm Tenacious Earl. Until next time, have fun with your